Joyous December, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and a wonderful, non-denominational, December-based winter greeting to you all. My name is Colin, and I want to talk today about a video. Christmas is right around the corner, and if you've got a pulse and have watched television in the last, ever, then you're probably aware that many shows, animated or live action, put out Christmas specials around this time of year. They may be a dime a dozen, but some of them are pretty dang special. This is not one of those specials. Grab a cup of your favorite lactose-free eggnog, slip into something a little more comfortable, and join me as we talk today about one of my favorite animated series of all time, Digimon Adventures 02, A Very Digi Christmas. The episode starts out on a pretty solid note, with the DigiDestined and their partners destroying a control spire.
The laser!
Starting out with action in your episode is a great way to show that you mean business, and I like it. After taking down the control spire, left as a gift by the evil Arukenimon and Mummymon, Ken has an internal monologue about whether or not his friends will come to his Christmas party. Aw, it's baby's first Christmas party! I remember my first party. Cody seems worried that Ken still hates him because of how Ken's staring at him, but he's actually really staring at Cody because he thinks Cody still hates him for the things he did as the Digimon Emperor. But with a little help from his partner Wormmon, Ken personally delivers Cody the invitation, which surprises Cody, and they actually share a heartfelt moment. Ken and Cody had a really strained relationship leading up to this point, but it's honestly really nice to see them getting along. I also forgot that TK sounds like a literal adult, and it's really jarring.
Say no more. You're having a Christmas party we're in.
We jump back to the real world for a minute to find that yes indeed, it's the most wonderful time of the year. But even with the overabundance of peace and goodwill to their fellow men, a dark plot is brewing. You know, Arukenimon and Mummymon really stand out to me as bad guys, and I'm sure it has nothing to do that I have just been conditioned to fear a duo of a man and a woman, one in blue and one in red. They're nothing like Satoros and Minardi from Golden Sun. They're not that evil. Speaking of bad guys, TK's mom is approached by a man who I can only describe as Stranger Danger personified. He gives off real Flasher vibes with that coat. This is Oikawa, and he's going to be important for the rest of the season, which has no impact on us or this video. Back in the digital world, Davis and the Funky Bunch stuff the original Digipals into a sack and send them home to their partners as a Christmas surprise. The best part about this, though, is that they actually email Palmon to Mimi's house in America and just leave the sack overnight at the foot of her bed while she sleeps, completely unaware of what's happening. Even though Mimi's not present in this episode, don't you worry, we'll be seeing her again soon. Then we cut back to the real world again. I am getting severe whiplash. The reunion between the original DigiDestined and their partners is super heartwarming. I'm glad they tied it to the Christmas special, but one thing I don't get is why the 02 Digimon partners have to de-digivolve when they're in the real world while the 01 don't. There's not a difference between them or anything. Later in the day, Sora and Biyomon head over to the concert venue to watch Matt, yes, he's performing in a rock group now, perform. There's a really depressing interaction between Sora and Tai, which is made all the worse by their partners not really picking up on the clues. Did I miss a love triangle between Matt, Sora, and Tai growing up? I always thought it was Tai that was the one that was going to date Sora, because there was that whole scene in the first Digimon movie where he talks about throwing up in her hat and he writes love instead of from, and it's a whole thing. But I guess maybe she's more into Matt. I don't really know. I don't think it actually matters that much either. Anyway, the concert starts off well, but it's interrupted by the appearance of a control spire in the real world. Digimon start rampaging and panic ensues. Meanwhile, hard cut to Ken's Christmas party. The new DigiDestined are playing cards in Ken's room, and Davis suggests playing strip poker. The best part about this is that this wasn't done by 4 kids, so I can't even blame them. But I want to. It's all going well enough until Yolei accidentally mistakes a picture of Ken's dead brother for Ken. The mood instantly dies, and that was Ken's Christmas party. Thankfully, Tai knows Ken's phone number and calls the house, letting the kids know what's going on. The DigiDestined and their partners rush to the scene and destroy the control spire. The DigiDestined work together to round up the rampaging Digimon and send them back to the digital world. Tai and Davis share exactly 1 brain cell. The scene really works well with the Digimon movie soundtrack, by the way. I know it was probably a cost-saving measure because they were using music they'd already licensed, but if you're gonna have it, why not use it?
Cheetah Ball! Let's kick it
One other thing I've always loved about Digimon 02 is the introduction of the DNA Digivolving. It's one of my favorite mechanics, it's one of my favorite formats in the Digimon TCG, and I only discovered recently that they're starting to call it Jogress now instead of DNA Digivolving. I think DNA Digivolving sounds cooler, but Jogress, I think, was what it was originally in the dub, so My favorite DNA Digimon was Dragon Cowboy with a gun. With the day saved, Ken laments that it wasn't the Christmas party he wanted, but he'll be sure to throw a better one next year. The kids all head home, wishing each other a Merry Christmas, and everyone has a calm, relaxing night, waking up the next day where nothing goes wrong at all. Just kidding, shit hits the fan and the control spires are popping up all over the globe, leading us into the Digimon World Tour special. I think the weirdest part about the ending though is that Kari decides to give us a rendition of The Night Before Christmas, but it's about the DigiDestined and at warp speed.
'Twas a Digimon Christmas and everyone was busy, especially the likes of Tentomon and Izzy. Joe played with Gomamon, Matt and Gabumon ate. Palmon saw Mimi, isn't that great? Cody and Upamon shared a little sushi, while Perulumon sat on Yolei's tushy. Tokamon went caroling, Ken's thankful for friends, while in Davis's dreams, the fun never ends. Good night now. Merry Christmas.
And that's the end of part 1. Yes, I did say part 1. Very Digi Christmas is not actually a 2-part special, but it's weird. So to preface the next video, this special took place on December 24th, 2000, but there's like a 3-parter that took place in April of 2001 that actually takes place on Christmas in the world. So I'll see you in part 2 for the Digimon World Tour.